Real Madrid were trying to take out revenge on AC Milan and they got 3-1 straight on their head top. I won't lie, I was one of the people that believed it. I believed the propaganda. I thought that we should be fearing for AC Milan as Real Madrid would take out their anger of losing the Ballon d'Or and the El Clasico on AC Milan. AC Milan's defense has not been great in the Champions League. They have not had good results, and Real Madrid, remember, come from thrashing Dortmund 4-2. So yeah, I thought maybe, there was some truth to that statement, but AC Milan shocked us all and they've put on a performance to be proud of. So they've picked up a much needed victory so they can climb the table, start climbing the long table. Unfortunately for Real Madrid, they are going through a bad time. They're going through a bad time. They lost their unbeaten streak literally just before equaling the record. They've lost it to their biggest rivals, Barcelona. They got thrashed by Barcelona 4-0 at home at the Santiago Bernabeu, and then they also lost out on the Ballon d'Or by Vinicius Jr. losing out to Rodri. We know that they boycotted the event, so there's been a lot of negative PR in relation to that and a lot of backlash from the media and from fans worldwide. So yeah, it's just a difficult phase that I think Real Madrid are going through. I think it's the second defeat now in the Champions League. I do think there's still lots of games to have an opportunity to at least get some much needed points, but someone mentioned that their next game will be against Liverpool and Atalanta away, and that is not easy. So do we start worrying now for Real Madrid? I do think for sure they'll end up in the knockout phase or at least in the playoffs for the round of 16, but for them to not make it into the top 8 that automatically qualify for the round of 16, then yes, maybe that is a little bit of a problem. It will add more games. Like I said, teams don't want that. And I do think, though, there'll be enough games and they have a little bit of a few points that they can definitely make it in between that number 9 and like 24th spot or something. So they will go into a knockout competition. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's too much jeopardy. I don't think it's too much of a problem when you look at it from the bigger picture, but I do think that this is not ideal. One person that I do feel sorry for is Arda Güler. This boy is so good for me. He's such a star and should be getting lots and lots of game time. For me, he should be playing week in, week out. He's that good. I remember during the Euro with Turkey, what was he doing for his team at his age? He was almost the main man. So he can literally carry the pressure, he can carry the weight, and he can play for 90 minutes, and he can deliver while he's playing. So the fact that he's getting 0 minutes and 0 chances, I don't think that's good enough. I definitely don't think it's good enough. It's obviously tough. You have Mbappe, who's signed and he's on massive wages and the fans want to see him. He's this global superstar. You have Vinicius Jr., who's obviously excellent player who just finished runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, and you have Rodrigo. But for me, how is he not starting? I do think he should get a chance somewhere in between. All of those players sometimes don't show up, so there's been ample opportunity for him to play, and I just feel so sorry for him. He deserves much better. Maybe Real Madrid should loan him out, but he's good enough to play in any team, I believe. Arda Güler, I think he's amazing, and his rival Yamal is now literally playing week in, week out, guaranteed started, and obviously playing better simply because he's getting his opportunity. Let him get his opportunity. And the same for City, who are also going through a difficult phase. They got thrashed by Sporting 4-1. I do think that City have, of course, now lost 3 games in a row for the first time since 2018, April 2018. They lost in the Carabao Cup to Spurs. Everyone was just like, it's the Carabao Cup, it's not needed. They always won 3 in a row. So, it's a small competition, really doesn't care. Too many games unnecessary. Then they lost in the league to Bournemouth, which was a shock, not expected, and then lost opportunity to extend their lead at the top of the table, and Liverpool have now overtook them for that, and now they've also lost in the Champions League. So 3 different competitions, 3 losses. What's going on at Man City? Pep Guardiola started taking his frustrations out and commenting about the Club World Cup and saying that it's too many games. They don't like the fact that it's too many games, and we understand that FIFA have said that the clubs have to field their strongest teams or else they will get a fine, and that's the stipulations of the Club World Cup. So for Man City, I think Pep is just blaming it on too many games right now. I think these are bad performances from City, and that's the truth. Bad performances. Maybe it is because of games, but I do think City should have showed up better to these competitions. Victor Gyökeres scored a hat-trick. I've been, if you've been following my reviews, my Champions League reviews every match week, I've raved about this guy, and he's now scored a hat-trick. And is someone not buying him? I'm going to keep saying it again. No one is interested. We are not seeing anything concrete. And I'm just shocked at so many teams that actually need strikers, or they claim they need strikers. Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, they claim that. But, they are not showing up. So, yeah, for me, once again, brilliant performance by Sporting. They're actually looking healthy in the Champions League table. I do think as well with City, like Real Madrid, they'll have enough games to secure maybe a little bit more points. At least more for City do guarantee them a spot in the top 8. So right now, I don't think that's in too much jeopardy. Worst case scenario, they have to play 2 extra games in the knockout to qualify for the round of 16, right, in the playoffs. The problem is then you might get another big team, and it might be another tricky game, and maybe you might be going through a difficult phase in your league with injuries as well. It's not something you want, but I don't know. I think from a bigger scheme of things, I don't imagine Real Madrid or Man City not finishing in the top 16 of the Champions League. So let's see how this progresses, especially for Real Madrid, who have 2 tough fixtures away at Liverpool and Atalanta. But besides that, Ancelotti, the machine, keeps on rolling. He keeps on cooking. Liverpool thrashed Leverkusen 4-0. Leverkusen is not an easy side to beat. We know that. I mean, I did think Liverpool will go into their banter era, to be fair. Yeah, they proved me completely wrong. I'll hold my hands up and say, I apologize, Ancelotti. I was not familiar with your game. Congratulations. Well played, mate. Fair play. You are doing absolutely amazing. Top of Premier League, top of Champions League. Perfect start, really. Only that one very strange and weird loss to Forest, who are also doing well in the Premier League, by the way. I think they're in the top 4. But, I mean, Slot deserves his flowers. I do think, though, this is perfect. It's a perfect night. This night is all about Ruben Amorim. He's just beat Pep Guardiola. This is like peak of his career right now, I believe. Yes, he's won trophies at Sporting, but he's going into a next phase. He's leaving, and this was a perfect farewell. Absolutely thrashed one of the best coaches in the world, one of the best coaches in history. He's thrashed one of the best teams in the world. He's thrashed them convincingly, right? He's thrashed them convincingly. He is about to join what other people will call a bigger club, and people are putting their faith in him. Man United fans are putting their faith in him to turn it around. Yes, I believe 100% he will play better than Erik ten Hag in terms of game plan, in terms of approach, in terms of tactics, successful in terms of getting trophies. Obviously, that remains to be seen, but I definitely know that he can only do better than Erik ten Hag, with especially the playing week in, week out, that the league positions that, Man United are currently occupying. He will bring that back for Man United. Some excitement, some good football, some tactics. Yeah, we just hope that it will translate into trophies and happiness for Manchester United fans. This week, or this night, is all about Ruben Amorim. We say congratulations, and what a successful time at Sporting. It's landed you a big role, a dream move. We forget sometimes how much it is a dream for coaches to make their way up to the very, very top and get their dream job. And he's accepted United, and we wish him all the best. Let him enjoy it. There's no better farewell than this. Some people will say it's the calm before the storm. It's the peak that you reach before everything starts coming down. But I don't think there's any reason to be negative. Some people will say, how can you not be negative when now he has Victor Gyökeres, and then he'll have Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund at United as striking options, and you have players like Marcus Rashford who don't want to run or things like that. So maybe this does not work at Manchester United, but I don't think there's no need to be negative right now. It's all looking good, and let's see how it progresses. We wish him well. Honestly, we are saying that this is a dream for manager, and he's having a great moment. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Sporting, and he got a very brilliant farewell in his final game. All the Sporting fans want him to go to that next phase. He's supported by the board, by the fans, and everyone he's loved, and he deserves that. With that being said, that's the rest of your fixtures. Dortmund won, Monaco won. They also keep getting valuable points in this Champions League table. I'll be back tomorrow with the Wednesday review. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.